Okay, here's a quick riddle. What do protein shakes, this month's book selection, and I all have in common? Do you give up?
We thick.
Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. You're watching. Now you know I could not let Black History Month end without promoting a book that I read in February by a Black author. And the book that I chose is actually an add-on that I had for Book of the Month Club this month, and it was a nonfiction book, which is very unlike me. I was like, who hacked into my account and ordered this? What? I like to read for fun, and I do not find that a lot of nonfiction is fun. And I think for me, my problem with nonfiction is not even the content, it's the voice that it's written in. It's just, I don't know.
Aloof.
Distant, blasé.
Zombie-like. Dull as a box of rocks.
Dull as a box of rocks. Yeah, dull as a box of rocks. And most of the time I feel like I'm not even the intended audience. And sometimes, I mean, the author's upfront with that. Like White Fragility that I read recently, I was like, okay, you say in the introduction, you are a white woman writing for other white people. Got it, okay? And so when I feel like I'm reading and I'm like, this isn't really intended for me, I'm okay with it because I knew what I was getting into. Sometimes I feel like a lot of the nonfiction books, I'm like, who is your intended audience? Because it's like, okay, or maybe your intended audience is too broad. I don't know, but I don't feel like I'm being spoken to, and it grates on my nerves when that happens. So, if I'm not expecting it, and if I'm not going in knowing that, it grates on my nerves. It makes me feel unseen. I cannot say that about this book. Absolutely not. So this book, by stark contrast, makes me feel very seen. And I love it so much for so many reasons. The author is brilliant. She is a professor of sociology at Virginia Commonwealth University. Her work's been everywhere. And she is just a bright light. You know, whenever you get named in a series with bell hooks, right, then you're doing something right. Yeah. Your writing is top notch. And she, like, I don't find a lot of value in being in an echo chamber where I say, I like this, like this, like this, and it comes back at me, like this, like this. I don't find a lot of value in that. I mean, there's some because it makes you feel less alone, but I don't need to agree, let's say that. I don't need to agree with everything that's being said to me. And I love this book because even though she and I feel like have a lot in common, I don't think that I agree with everything she said in here. I have some different opinions. And that's the kind of book I love, a book that challenges me. There were times where I was like, okay, like especially when she was talking about, I don't want to do too much of a spoiler, but she has an essay in here about regular Black, and then as in like you are descendants from slaves in the United States versus Blacks who, I'm one of them, came here and they were not direct descendants from slaves in the United States. And I was a little triggered. Not triggered, I was a little bit like, I'm Black too though, and that's not what she was saying in the essay, but it, you know, it ruffled me a little bit, and that's great, that's good, that's exactly what you want a book to do. She's not a spokesperson for Black women. She says a lot of things that I think apply, that universally, I think, need to be known, but yeah. Anyway, so, love it! It's a good 5 stars from me. Pick it up, read it, boom. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I don't have any subscribers. This is my very first video. It's sad. Feel sorry for me and subscribe. All right, thanks. Bye.